going on this evening. It's going to be fun, but I appreciate you holding up until we talk first before you go on and have some fun. Before we start, I want to get a feel of who I'm talking to here. So how many of you here would consider yourself new to crypto? Maybe in the last year or so, just by show of hands? All right, what about OGs? Do we have any OGs out there? Longer than a year? Yes, absolutely. Okay, now if you are a first timer or got drugged here by your spouse, your partner, your significant other, raise your hand. You have no idea what's going on, but it looks pretty cool, doesn't it? Yeah. Well, I have something for everyone today. So I come here on a mission, and my mission is this: to simplify blockchain technology concepts. See, I feel that everybody deserves a chance to learn and grow as the technology of the world shifts. And I feel that we should be able to explain blockchain technology to your kids, your parents, your grandparents, and maybe even simplify it so that you yourself can understand it. You ready for this? So for the newbies here, I'm going to start with two basics. Okay, we'll catch you up to speed. The first basic is, what is blockchain technology? All right, let's get technical. So blockchain technology is a decentralized digital ledger that records transactions securely and transparently across the network of computers. So instead of relying on one single authority, it operates through a distributed system where each transaction is verified by multiple participants before being added to a chain of data. I see eyes glazing over already. Okay, let's add a little bit of spice. So let me simplify this for you. Imagine that you and your friends are keeping a list of trades. Everybody has a copy of the record of who has what. That is called transparency. If somebody wants to make a trade, say person A and person B want to make a transaction, everybody within the network can look and see that person A and B have what they say they do, approve that transaction. That approval, that joint decision, is called consensus. Once they decide that that can be approved, it is then added to the blockchain and gets locked in, and that is why it is secure. That information is then on-chain information. It is a block on the blockchain, which brings us full circle to transparency because everybody has a copy. You following me here? Now we're here at ETHDenver, so what is Ethereum? Well, Ethereum is a decentralized blockchain platform that allows developers to build and run smart contracts in decentralized applications without relying on a central authority. Ethereum was founded in 2015. It is the backbone of NFTs. I love NFTs. So let me reiterate this. Ethereum is important to blockchain because it introduced smart contracts which let people create automatic agreements without a middleman. Ethereum upgraded to proof of stake in 2022, which then made it more energy efficient. Now, my friends, we have a lot of big words here, and it's going to be awfully hard to onboard people and talk about it if we don't understand the terminology of what we are saying. So that's where I come in. My name is Elizabeth Sullivan. I am an author and an educator, and for the past over 2 years, I have decided to simplify basic blockchain technology concepts to kids, more specifically fifth graders, through children's books. As of right now, I am on to 17 children's books published, each one specifying a specific blockchain technology concept. And then after seeing the need for educational components, especially for our kids in this area, I then published curriculum targeted at the fifth grade, but fourth to sixth grade level for blockchain basics. We have Unit 1, 2, and 3, and coming soon are Unit 4. So I mentioned smart contracts and Ethereum. I want to give you an example of how smart contracts can be explained through something like a children's book. So I wrote this book called Pixel Perfect Pets, and it follows a girl named Paige, and she's exploring Bitville, which is an online world, and she comes across this virtual pet adoption agency. So of course, she wants to adopt a pet, right? She picks out a pet, a lovable puppy named Pixel, and when she chooses to adopt this pet in Bitville, the smart contract automatically takes the adoption fee from her wallet and then transfers into her Pixel's health records as well as the ownership to it. The fun thing about children's books is if you've read one, you can see at the back of it is a wonderful area to add a little bit extra. So I took advantage of this in all of them to not just tell the story, but reiterate the concept that is being taught in the story. This can be done through ways like question and answers, terminology, it can be a glossary. Honestly, children don't want the story to end. So adding something in the backs of your books is a great way to keep their attention. You see, we associated smart contracts with the adoption of a pet. Now that is something that we can all kind of get familiar with. And to be honest, that's really all learning is. Learning is simply associating something you know with something you didn't know yet. When it's cold and it's snowing, it's cold outside, it's not warm, so that must mean something. When it gets to a certain temperature of coldness, it turns from rain to snow. That must mean something. This is how we learn. So I have a few tips for you. First off, if you're talking to kids, or anybody really, any newbies, your grandparents, you want to meet them where they are. You don't want to jump into a conversation beyond somebody's level of understanding because they're not going to understand you beyond their current level of understanding. And also it can be intimidating, but I would say start simply. I know that none of us feel like we're all the way up here because there's so much to know as far as blockchain technology goes, but if you keep the conversation basic, it opens it up for everybody to partake in. And then my next piece of advice would be to simply start. I know it can be intimidating, but we are so early, my friends. Be the leader of the conversation in your area, whether it be at work, in school, within your family. Just simply start. And you might be asking yourself, well, how do I do that? I am not a programmer. I am not a coder. I am not an artist. Insert reason here. I say that because I literally thought those exact things. I wanted to bring something to honor the space. And I thought, I'm not an engineer. What do I bring that would be worthy of this? Well, my friends, here's a secret. New tech, same base. I'm here talking to you at ETHDenver about children's books, and yet we're at a blockchain conference, an Ethereum conference. New tech, same base. So if you are not a developer, a coder, somebody who can put out the next app, NFT project, maybe you can put out a book. I personally have found that stories are a fantastic way to get your message out there, and you can quite literally pick the level of who you're talking to. So if you don't feel comfortable at a certain level, take it down a notch. Write what you know. As far as books, it's incredibly simple to write one. I found out that I could design children's books on Canva, and that was like Kitty Bar the Door. That's why they're 17 now. So just use whatever you find as a creative outlet. I personally use Canva. You're basically going to need a PDF file of your cover, a PDF file of your interior, and then you can take those and you'll go to kdp.com, that's Kindle Direct Publishing. You can use their free ISBN and get your book out there in the world. It is not that hard. We make it way harder in our minds, and to be honest, people need to hear your perspective and what you have to bring to this world. Now we're talking books, and I found that books and blockchain, at first I doubted it, but then I thought, how else are we going to onboard the older generation and the younger generation who are not quite allowed maybe online or into those areas yet? Well, books are very familiar. And let's not forget that getting them into the hands of kids is essential through parents who also want them using familiar, trusted technology. Now, as far as the classroom, I said meet them where they are, right? So when we're talking about educating kids, well, they're going to learn educational things in a classroom. It's hard to get curriculum into the school system these days, but there is a way. So remember I told you about Canva, and that's how I was able to use it to design children's books? Well, that same thing can be done to create worksheets, resources, quizzes, you name it. And those resources that you create can then be listed on sites like Etsy or teacherspayteachers.com, and that can quite literally get in the hands of educators and out there in the world. Or you can just keep it simple. If you are already part of a current project, maybe just take one of the characters and create an activity page or a coloring sheet. A coloring sheet is a fantastic way to onboard kids, as well as you can use it for lead generation. You can use it as a freebie on your website. I mean, it's super simple. So I guess my question for you right now that we've removed all those, oh, I'm not a this, I'm not a that, you can do a lot. So how will you share? You could tell a story. Tell your story. Storytelling is the core of human communication. Or you can educate your community. You can use or create your own resources, just like I listed, to teach and inspire you. Another thing, you can also use the tech. Don't be intimidated to use the tech. Yes, I write children's books, but I have also created POAPs. I have created an NFT project before. I have created a way to burn something for a physical product. It's not hard, but while you're using the tech, talk about the journey. Because when you talk about it, it just makes it all more relatable. We're all new here. This is just the beginning. I have a few housekeeping items I want to do before I finish up. If you'd like to connect, this is my link tree. Choose the path, whichever you would like. Also, I have a clipboard down here. If you would like a free copy of Unit 3 of the blockchain curriculum, and that's for 5th graders. It's adaptable for 4th through 6th graders. Just go ahead and put your email there or catch me, and I can send you a free copy of that. I also have coloring sheets, of course, with me. If you have little ones at home, you're free to take some of those. I want to end with this, my friends. The technology of the future is here. It is here today. This is our time to learn about it, to use it, and to teach it. Thank you.